All right, 12 o'clock and we are going to get started. So welcome back to your 30-minute yoga for the nervous system. Just a reminder, this style and approach of yoga is all based on repeating certain particular movements in a posture and then adding our pranayama. So at any point in time, the first thing you could do for an option is either cut your range of motion in half or slow down the movements at any point as well. Saliva naturally will build up in the mouth, so keep the movement going. You could lick the lips, swallow the saliva, and then do your best to jump right back into the movement and the repetition. If you haven't yet, please blow your nose. It will help. And we're going to get started today in a comfortable seated. So the way you've crossed the legs, just switch the cross so you can work on the opposing hip flexor, move the flesh and the muscle back. And if you are tuning live, don't get frustrated if the technology glitches a little bit. What you could do is just press pause, wait till it loads a little bit, maybe grab some water, roll those shoulders back, press play, and then you can come and jump right back into your practice. So you're just going to first start with tuning in, and we're just going to do that through stillness. So closing the eyes, those palms can rest wherever they feel comfortable, down on the knees, up on the knees, or even just in a slight cup underneath the belly. And just start to bring your attention toward the quality of your breath today. Allowing your mind to become a little bit more focused. If you feel like you have that monkey mind where you're paying attention or you're thinking about many different things at once. And how we do that is just starting to really observe the breath coming in and out of the nose. During our tune in, we're just going to stretch out the neck as well, because we're going to first start with shoulder breathing coming up. So start by taking the chin down toward the chest, allowing your head to hang forward, keeping the shoulder scapula down and back, and keeping your chest palate lifted. Just taking some nice, slow, deep breaths here. If you choose to, those breaths can be a little bit more ujjayi sounding. That constriction right at the back of the throat, created on your exhalation. Taking about 3 more and relaxing your jaw, the forehead. Slowly rolling the head to your right shoulder, so the side of the face becomes parallel to the ceiling. Same thing here, nice, slow, deep, rhythmic breaths. And as you're holding the stretch, start to scan below the shoulders. Notice if your gut, the belly feels a little bit tight. Do your best to just relax it. Grounding down through your glutes and letting go of any kind of muscular engagement within your quads. Holding that right ear to the right shoulder, just nod your head up and down a little bit. If it's intense, taking your exhales out of the mouth. And for your final 2 breaths, take the tip of the nose to your right armpit. So just angling that chin down. Good, taking 1 more breath. Come back to where your head is hanging forward. You can shake out the head a little bit here before you switch sides. Now taking your left ear toward the left shoulder. Try to keep the eyes closed. Notice if you're curling at the brows or if you feel tightness somewhere in the muscles of the face. Nice deep breaths right into the front of the chest. Beautiful. Final two. Keeping a slight part to the lips and the teeth. Try to keep your shoulders level as best as you can. And holding the left ear to the left shoulder, just nod your head up and down. Finishing up by taking the nose toward the tip crease of the left armpit. And take 2 really good body breaths here. Breathe right into those areas that feel tight, constricted. Perfect. Slowly drawing that head back down toward the center of the chest so your head hangs forward. As your head holds here, inhale the shoulders up to the earlobes. Out of the mouth, shoulders down. One more time, shoulders up. And gently start to blink the eyes open and bringing your head up to center. Perfect. While you're here, if you need to, you can come into some nice basic movements and stretches, whether it's leaning to one side, reaching that opposing arm overhead for your side stretch, or maybe you want to keep those arms up at shoulder height and get into a couple of twists. I'm just going to get our timer set. We're going to do shoulders breathing for about 90 seconds to 2 minutes. So what you're doing here, similar to what we did last week where we come into hands breathing, you want that same level of intensity. But this time your palms are going to be facing down on the knees. You're simply going to bring the shoulders up. And then out of the nose, as you drop forcefully the shoulders down. Okay, you could go slow on your tempo, or you could do something quite fast. Either finding a drishti point with your eye gaze, or better yet, keeping the eyes closed. Again, at any point in time, lick the lips, swallow the saliva, but keep the movement going, and then just come right back in with your breath. Okay, so I will do the countdown, the last 5, when it comes to the point of finishing. So if you're ready, take those shoulders, roll them down and back so they're right over top of the hips. Soften your belly, and then getting ready. Lick the lips, again, swallow the saliva. You're starting in 3, 2, shoulders up, inhale. Keep going. You are now halfway through. Strong inhale, shoulders lift. Strong exhalation. You could speed it up if you're feeling good. Final 30 seconds. 5, 4, 3, eyes open, shoulders up, hold, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, cactus out the elbows, exhale, close the eyes, fingers open nice and wide, try not to move right now, just focusing on what's happening. If you're in a cold place of the world, you'll notice that it's a nice, good technique to warm up. Trying to add a little bit of humor. Elbows remain at shoulder height. Hold it for 3 more observable breaths. Try not to react. We're going to work our way down through the spine. Open the eyes. Inhale the hands up. Sweep the arms down to the side of your mat. 2 sun breaths. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale out of the nose. 1 more. Good. Slowly roll the shoulders forward and up, back and down. Just a couple more times. Good. Slowly come onto all fours. Again, if you need a little bit of movement, if you need to blow your nose throughout, feel free to stop and do that. Down dog is a really good stretch to come into. So is movement in cat-cows. But this is going to be our next technique. So your toes can either be tucked under, or you could perch up at the fingertips or create a fist from time to time. If you feel pressure on the knees, try fold your mat or take a blanket under the knees. You're going to probably be here for about 3 to 4 minutes, so not too bad. What you're going to do is you're going to inhale as you drop the belly, tailbone lifts and your head lifts, and then exhale, you're going to round out your spine in that angry cat pose. Again, play around with how the feet placement is and whether your body feels better with your palms down or if you perch up on the fingertips from time to time. So again, cut your range of motion or you can slow down the movement. The idea is really focusing on your navel point on this one and on your spinal flexion and release. So take a moment here to, again, lick the lips, swallow the saliva in the mouth. I'm going to start the timer coming into a neutral spine. Close the eyes, beginning in 3, 2, and 1. Inhale. Keep going. You are now 1 minute in. We're going to be pushing it to 4 minutes today. So really pay attention to the rounding. Every time you exhale, pulling your belly in and back toward your spine. And if you choose to, if you're an intermediate student, perhaps focusing on squeezing in through Mula Bandh every time you round, every time you exhale. If you're feeling nauseous or dizzy, Then you could always slow down the movement, but try to keep going. You are now halfway through the technique. Swallow the saliva from time to time, but try to keep the movement going. You're doing great. Maintain your pace, or if you're feeling good, speed it up. 'Stay in your zone. You've got 1 minute to go. Come back to that full movement set while maintaining that faster pace. 30 seconds to go. Final 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Inhale, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. Final rounding. Exhale, perch up on the fingertips. Hold your breath. Engagement through Mula Bandha for 5. Chin to the chest. 4. Get that Gellinger lock. 3. Keep the eyes closed. 2. Neutral tabletop. Inhale, hold here. Just notice what's going on. Hopefully that body is twitching, pulsing beyond belief. Okay, holding there, that's exactly the type of sensation, reaction that we want. Body is resetting, recalibrating, coming into a deeper level of energetic alignment here. Engagement through your core, 2 more breaths. Slowly begin to open the eyes. Trust instinctually what you need to do, if that's a down dog or child's pose. If you need a little bit of movement, perhaps some water, try to maintain that mental state of that fuzziness where you're staying in your zone of practice. Really holding on to that residue that you've created for yourself. You've got about 15 more seconds, just moving or holding some kind of still pose. When you're ready to open the eyes, we're going to now come into our final exercise before we come into a seated stillness for about a minute, and then your final Shavasana. So we're almost there. You're going to take the feet a little bit more than hips width, extending them forward. Walk the flesh and the muscle back. So you're sitting up onto the sit bones. And what you're going to do here is, with a slight flex to the feet, you're going to set those shoulders down and back and try your best to keep those palms at shoulder height. Every inhale, you're going to rock forward. Every exhale, you're going to rock back. So try to really tuck the tailbone when you rock back, and then correct the alignment from time to time, because when you start to get into the pulsing movement and repetitiveness, it'll be easy to cut that range, and then you kind of get into your own little zone, right? So every once in a while, do correct it. An option when it starts to go for a longer period of time is doing this. Bending at the knees, heels ground, and then you keep rocking forward on your inhale, and then back on your exhale. So you're really going to get a little bit of a core exercise here as well, and a core burn. So just based on time, we're just going to hold this one for, again, about 3 to 4 minutes. We'll see how it goes. So get yourself ready. Roll those shoulders down and back. You could start by just keeping those arms up to shoulder height. Close the eyes again. Find that drishti point if the eyes are open. Your timer starts in 3, 2, and 1. Keep rocking forward on your inhale, back on your exhale. Naturally, your body will find its own pace and range. Try not to react to whatever sensations that you feel creeping up in your body. Continue to stay on track with the technique. Keep it up, you're doing great. You are now halfway through, so you've got 2 minutes to go. Keep those arms at shoulder height. Keep them extending forward with the palms facing the body. In through the nose, out of the nose as you lean back. 'You are almost there. You've got 1 minute to go. Relax the muscles of your face, tip of the tongue at the palate of the mouth. Keep pulsing that breath. Relax those shoulders and try to maintain that proper form. Shoulder scapula down and back, reaching the chest forward on your inhale, back on your exhale. "30 seconds to go. Final 15. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Keep going. Keep the eyes closed. Final 2 and 1. Bring your body upright. Keep those arms as they are. Shoulders stack on top of the hips. Cactus out the elbows. Taking those forearms and palms to face away from your body. Flex the feet. You're here for 3 breaths. Try not to move. Inhale the arms up toward the ceiling. Palms to prayer this time in front of the heart. Exhale. Holding now for a minute. You can soften through the toes. You can allow the knees to externally rotate. But just scanning your body here and notice what's going on. If there's maybe an inner story that's being developed. At this point, try not to open your eyes or look around too much. Simply start to bring yourself into your final Shavasana. We're going to be here for about 3 to 4 minutes. So starfish your body out. If you're feeling a lot going on, once again, left palm on the heart. Right palm on the belly, but try to ensure the backs of your triceps are relaxed down onto the mat. Scanning the body from the crown of the head to the tips of the toes. Tips of the toes back toward the crown of the head. Just surrender, letting go of the work that you've done. And what your skin is experiencing, what the muscles feel. And bring your full attention to your breath. I'll bring you back when it's time. Now, if you need more time, feel free to stay. Otherwise, start to bring awareness back into your body. Wiggling your fingers, and then your toes. circling out the ankles and the wrists. Full body stretch, searching for a yawn if it's there. Before rolling to the right side of the body to rest for a couple more breaths. If you have a few more minutes, really good to stay after our session and just hold stillness, come into that state of meditation, and be really kind to your body for the rest of the day. When you're ready with helping hands, bringing yourself up toward a comfortable seated. Taking your palms to prayer in front of the heart, bowing down your head. And once again, directing your breath, guiding it toward areas of your body today that feel tight, numb. Three more mindful breaths. Namaste. Once again, take your time on your mat. If you're still feeling that residue, it's a really good place to be, but just make sure that you don't drive right away after this class or step out somewhere in high traffic with public. Just make sure you stamp your feet down a couple times so you could really bring yourself back to earth, literally. And I will see you guys next week.